question. Here we go. Jump start, surely, from Anthony West. Surely a jump start, and somebody stalled at the back of the grid. No, it's Vermeulen who stalled it. It's going to be Danny Pedrosa leading into the first corner, and there's a hooligan on a Grassini up there. Is it Tony Elias? Watch out. Tony Elias from 5th position is up to 2nd at the moment. 3rd is Nicky Hayden. 4th is, I think...
Is that a Dantine? Is it Barros?
No. It's a Marlborough. It's a Marlborough in 4th position.
Casey, then.
It's which one is it? It is Casey Stoner on the number 27 machine, and already running away with it is Danny Pedrosa. Look at his lead. Elias looks over his shoulder. You look the wrong way, mate, because you might get past into the right.
Punye up the inside of Casey to 4th place.
So he goes through. Leading Bridgestone is Elias in 2nd, but the Michelin Honda of Danny Pedrosa, he's going to look over his shoulder and not even see them.
He's done this all weekend, right from the get-go. This lad has been the class of the weekend. And we always thought he couldn't ride in the West.
Oh, quick is Depunier through there. Quick is Depunier through there. No, it's Westy.
West.
Ah, jump start, of course.
Well, he moved and then stopped, but that, I'm afraid, will turn
look at this, look at this.
As he goes up on the inside, he's 2nd.
He's now 2nd place. I hope he didn't jump. I know he moved, but let's hope they didn't see it.
Let's hope they were having a drink of coffee while they were looking the wrong way in race control.
Stoner goes up a place. That's 4th for Stoner.
Leading is Pedrosa. 2nd is Westy. 3rd is Nicky Hayden. And 4th is now Casey Stoner from 9th position on the grid.
Akiyoshi is the first Suzuki in 6th.
Akiyoshi, he's in 5th position now. The graphic is already out of date.
He was on the floor this morning in warm-up.
Valentino Rossi in 8th position as they go down the bottom of the hill, and Akiyoshi weaving to try and get past the reigning world champion Nicky Hayden. Akiyoshi, he's as old as the hills. It's his 2nd Grand Prix. He was at Jerez at the beginning of the year. 3rd, Juliet, never mind. He's in hooligan mode.
He certainly is. Akiyoshi, Suzuki's test rider, claims to be 32 years old.
Westy really reeling in Pedrosa.
I've turned my timing monitor to the page where I'll get the first message about whether there is or isn't a jump start.
Please no.
But I've a horrible feeling there will be.
Now, we've been proved wrong in the past. Let's hope that we've been proved wrong. He moved a couple of inches, he stopped, and then he had a 2nd bite of the cherry. There goes Valentino Rossi up inside Tony Elias. Marco Melandri ahead of him.
Message on the timing monitor, but it only says that Curtis Roberts has gone up pit lane.
Oh, dear.
He's going out into the other bike, and it's got intermediate front and rear.
Oh, really? So he's decided that the conditions are dry.
Sorry, Toby. He came in and looked at the rear tire and said something was wrong. He was shaking his head. The problem is he's got to switch a bike with different tires.
Well, that could be construed as a Lawson gamble, couldn't it?
It's not raining here at Motegi. It's not raining. We could have a little bit of a dry line appearing here. We're on board with the leader, Danny Pedrosa, who's got half a second lead last time we looked ahead of Anthony West. The question is, did West jump the start? That's the problem. Now we are halfway around lap 2 here. Behind Danny Pedrosa is Westy, and Stoner's really creeping on him. He's leaving Akiyoshi for dead.
Westy's thinking about having a dip for the lead here. He's on the case. Akiyoshi splendidly up the front, 4th place at the moment. Nicky, Elias, Valentino, Colin, Melandri, and still no message about the jump start.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. Oh, Westy leads it. He powers out of the top corner of the top hairpin, and Anthony West leads the Grand Prix, but he's got a jump start. It's just come up on the screen, and we were right, unfortunately, for poor old Anthony West. He's going to get given the sign. He's going to have 3 laps to come in. It's not a stop-go penalty. He's got to ride through the pit lane at no more than 60 kilometres an hour. It's 36 miles an hour. Oh, what could have been.
And here's Stoner going to 2nd place. Stoner outpowers Pedrosa. Where's Westy? There he is.
But actually, it's almost the lead for Stoner.
Well, it is the lead because... It is the lead because Westy is out there on borrowed time. He's going to be riding through pit lane, but at least he can say he's led a Moto Grand Prix for the first time.
We're on board. Casey Stoner barely blinking on that Works Ducati. From 9th to 2nd position on the road in just 2 laps. Stunning.
And this could be the World Championship.
It is with Valentino in
where
6th
he
position.
is at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't forget, this race is long to go. 22 laps, track trying out, and they're on rain tires. Anything is possible. Tires chunking and not being able to finish a race.
I couldn't agree more, Randy. We could see people having to come in and change bikes in the latter stage of this race.
And I think that's maybe why Rossi's just playing it easy right now, but easy's too strong of a word. He needs to get up there with that lead group.
Yanagawa's come up pit lane as well on the wild card Kawasaki. Melandri beating up Akiyoshi. I'm the regular pal. Have a bit of that.
Out into the top S. Melandri passing them as if they're standing still into the V corner.
Remember how well Marco goes in the wet races, and also when there are bike change races.
So on the start-finish line, guys, is a bright green sign, fluorescent sign that says number 13. Obviously, that's the first time he'll see this, Anthony West, which means he has to come down within three laps.
Marco in, and then nearly touching Danny Pedrosa, the two Hondas side by side. They've got to stay off those white lines. We've seen people getting into problems with them already today. Marco duking it out with Danny Pedrosa, and he's going to win it.
That's the third place fight on track. You're looking at it. Akiyoshi's there as well, and behind them it's Randy de Pugnae
in 6th position.
He's gone past Rossi this lap.
So Rossi in 7th position as we come around to complete this lap 3 through the final corner, through the right-hander. Leading is Anthony West, and he's going to see that signboard that's unfortunately being held out. Penalty, drive in, drive through.
Roberts into the pits again. Yanagawa's already come up the pits. It's chaos.
Look at the second row. Look at the top left-hand side. Look at the green bike. The lights are still on. He moves, and he was rolling. I'm sorry, it's a no-brainer.
A whole wheel length, mate.
And poor old Vermeulen, of course, stalled it before the lights went out. Where is Chris Vermeulen? He's dead last in 19th position, 22 seconds back of the leader. A guy that could have potentially won this Grand Prix, stalling it on the line. Cruel luck. We are on lap 4 of 24 here in this Japanese MotoGP. Halfway around the lap, Anthony West, Casey Stoner, Marco Melandri go underneath the 1.5 mile oval that they have here at Motegi. But we're on board with, I rather fancy, Valentino Rossi as we come up behind the Japanese wild card, Kazuki Akiyoshi.
I think we're on with Randy de Pugnae.
No, because there's Randy de Pugnae.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, I've got Curtis Roberts here. Obviously, he's one of the riders that is out of the race. Curtis, what happened?
I don't know. Halfway through the first lap, I got around Cheka, Tamada, and a few other guys, and then the thing just started coming around really bad going in the corners and just ice skating around all of a sudden in the wettest part of the tracks where we were on full range, so I don't think anything like that happened. We don't know if there's something maybe getting on the rear tire or what, but then we tried to go out on cut slicks, but it's just too wet still.
Okay, thanks, Curtis.
Thanks, Randy.
Yanagawa goes backwards, he's lapped, but we pick back up with the leaders. West, Stoner, Melandri. Then 4th is de Pugnae, Pedrosa, Akiyoshi and Valentino Rossi. Rossi at the moment in 7th position. Now, will Westy come in for his ride-through penalty? Yes, he does.
And Rossi looked like he was making a move on Akiyoshi. There's a real dry line coming down that straight into the right-hander.
No stop penalty, no stop-start. Ian Wheeler cheering him on, the communications manager for Kawasaki.
Telling him not to pull in the pit. Keep going,
he's got to keep going, and he's going to have his thumb on the pit lane speed limiter. It's going to be 36 miles an hour through there. So now leading is Stoner from Marco Melandri. Everybody goes up one spot, and Westy powering past our position, and he's come out in 14th position. It ain't over for Westy yet.
Oh, no, it's not, but this track is drying. Westy is a genius when the place is actually flooded. There's no one better in the world.
Wow, look at this. The two Ducati riders for 08 they're going to have their rivalry starting right now, and Melandri wants to put one over Casey, doesn't he?
Oh, big time, big time. 2 Bridgestone tyres at the front, de Pugnae up to 3rd, so it's Bridgestone 1, 2, 3 at the moment.
Look at how dry the track is as we're following Nicky Hayden with Valentino. Now we're on that fast right-hand corner. Look at how quickly it's drying out, guys. Valentino going underneath. That's Danny. I'm sorry. I thought it was Nicky.
Yeah, no, that's Valentino Rossi up to 4th position. Where's de Pugnae?
De Pugnae is behind Capirossi in...
Where's de Pugnae's gone missing? So de Pugnae's out of 3rd. Look, 1, 2.
He's 8th, Toby.
And then he's gone off the track. He's gone wide somewhere. So Rossi is now 3rd. He started the lap 5th, and he's 3rd.
And it's Melandri who leads.
He's pulling away right now. Obviously, Casey's looking over his shoulder, looking for the title. He's got to look and see Valentino now.
Right,
so Valentino has to jump that gap. But look, it's dry. Are these tyres? What happened in Australia when we had a wet race that dried up? Here's Melandri's pass on Casey. Just got it back. Casey couldn't get the power down. The Honda was...
I think he just let it through. Obviously, there's no battle there because Casey does not want to fall off, does not want to wear a tire out whatsoever. Valentino's on the case.
So then Marco Melandri's on the case. That is a dry racetrack on that side of the racetrack, but it's wet if you're offline. There is Valentino. He's third. He started the last lap in fifth, but Depunier off camera has gone. We have no idea where and how and why and what and when and what. He lost 7 seconds in one lap to Depunier.
Melandri under the 2-minute mark. Half a second quicker than anybody else last time round. So this place is drying out. Look at Pedrosa there teetering into the corner. They're getting the other bike ready. We're going to get bike changes. Are we, Randy?
Yeah, Carlos Checa's coming in.
Wow.
Carlos Checa's coming in, and they've got the tire warmers off. They got the tire warmers off. Let me run over here quick and try to see what tire he's got.
Quick?
No, he's saying no. He just shook his head no. He has rain tires front and rear. They're taking the rear tire out. Danny Pedrosa's bike, I can't see tire warmers on it. Nicky Hayden's bike cut slick on the rear. Did not see the front. They've got the tire warmer on. They're getting the bike warm up now. They're going to fire it up. That's the starter motor. It is a cut slick front, cut slick rear. These bikes are getting ready.
Can you go 19 more laps on a wet tire on a drying track? I don't think so.
Now, what you have to do if you come in with the current wet tyre setup is that you have to leave on you can leave on another motorcycle, but it has to be completely different tyres, either slicks or cut slits. You can't leave on wets unless you change the tyres, which takes an age.
If you want to do that, you change the wheel, and that on a Grand Prix motorcycle, forget it, park it. Okay. Look at that, dry track.
Check out front rein and a rear cut slick. Front rein and rear cut slick just left. But obviously it took them a long time to change.
Oh, he's left on the same motorcycle, Randy?
No.
So he's changed bikes?
Yes.
I don't think that's legal to leave on a wet front if he came in on a wet front. Never mind. This could be the first race that we have where it dries rather than it starts dry and gets wet.
Yes.
That's the difference from Australia and Le Mans.
In this championship battle, Valentino's not going to pull in until he sees Casey do it.
It's follow the championship rival, isn't it, Randy?
You cannot take that risk unless he just goes for it and does that risk. But we'll have to wait and see.
Here and now, Stoner wins it. We're on lap 7 of 24 here in Japan. Started damp, it's drying.
And Stoner, the fastest man on track, 1:59.4 last time round. Quicker even than the leader, Melandri. Here's Rossi, 2-minute dead, 0.2 last time round. Can full-treaded tyres last much longer on this almost totally dry line now?
One of the things that happens is when the tire temperature goes way too high, tires start to come apart. They'll start to really ball up and move around a lot. You know, these tire companies, though, are working towards these kind of distances when things like this happen. And so we're still in the unknown of what we're going to be able to see. It's Casey's bike moving around just a little bit as he shifts the gears. Marco looking a little bit more smooth. To me, Valentino still just drifting that bike way too much.
Oh, Westy. No, it's Depunier.
That was where Depunier went when he went from 3rd or 4th back to 8th place. That's the reason he dropped down the order.
That's about 2 or 3 laps out of date, that. Now, what Bridgestone have been working on is going to a bone-dry test track with wet tyres and thrashing round on them. They were doing that in April at Oschersleben. All a bit hush-hush, but it can say it now. And they are leading this Grand Prix with Marco Melandri with their tyres underneath him, and they've got Bridgestone underneath Casey Stoner as well. Honda leading, but it's maybe the wrong Honda. Yeah, because he's leaving.
And these two Bridgestone shod runners are blowing off that first Michelin runner, Valentino. They're pulling away.
There's Valentino in the back of your picture. 1:59.9 for the two leaders. What's Valentino Rossi do over the line? 2 minutes, 0.0. It's Valentino's best lap of the race, though.
Valentino 3rd. Then you got Danny Pedrosa in 4th position, as you can see. Wow. Akiyoshi, Edwards, Caparossi, Randy.
Really picking the bike up, Casey and Marco, and that thing was spinning even with the traction control.
We're on lap 8 of 24 here in Japan. If it doesn't rain, will these guys come?
Look at the tire.
Welcome back here to Japan, and this is Nicky Hayden coming into the pits. Nicky Hayden coming into the pits. He's changing off his motorcycle. He's off the wet tyres and he's jumping on a completely different motorcycle. And Randy Mamola tells us that he's got a cut slick front and rear, which is perfectly within the regulations now in MotoGP. He's come in, he's lost about 23 seconds doing the bike change.
And we saw Rossi's bike there on the starter with what looked to me to be a full slick in the rear. No cuts in that at all. A cut slick, of course, but in the meaning of the rules, it's an intermediate tyre.
Randy, you've caught sight of Nicky Hayden's rear wet Michelin.
Tony Elias is coming in. Sorry, guys. Slick front, and slick rear for Tony Elias. De Pugny looked like it had a slick front and rear as well. There goes Tony Elias there.
Slick.
Yes.
Just tell us what Hayden's rear looked like.
His rear and front really was balling up on those rain tires, and that's what makes these things skid around and feel so, not secure whatsoever. Now Tamada's coming in, getting ready to switch tires. That's Ito's Ducati going by me right there. I'm not looking what he's got. Cut slick front and rear for the Yamaha. Of Tamada.
Tamada-san. I'm writing all this down, folks. Julian.
Yeah, we're looking at the leaders. They haven't come in yet. That is Melandri, Stoner, Rossi. They're doing 159s. Rossi's done the fastest lap of the race, 159.3.
Okay.
And what have got to be shot wet tyres.
What about Nicky Hayden? We've got to follow him. He's the one that's out there, the first guy that had the tires out first. We'll have to see what lap time he's turning, guys.
We've only got an out lap time, Randy. We'll get the first flyer to you.
Okay, Rossi's on a charge. Obviously, Danny's going to be shown. Let me see. T, it just says T. Okay. I have no idea.
No idea. Right then, we come round to complete lap 9 of 24. Leading is Melandri, a smidge ahead of Stoner. Stoner then is 4 seconds ahead of Rossi. He's third. Rossi is 2.5 ahead of Pedrosa, who is fourth. That is the lead in one shot.
Right, who's the first man in our order who has been in and changed bikes? That's the next question.
Nicky Hayden.
It will be Nicky Hayden. Don't forget Anthony West is in 8th position, but even though he came through.
But he didn't change bikes. He just came in and drove through.
Ducati's in. I think it's Lawrence Capirossi.
It's not Stoner, I'll tell you that.
No.
Lawrence, we've got him on screen, Randy.
I cannot see what tires he's got. It looks like slicks.
Look like it from here, buddy. Slick for Lawrence Capirossi. Oh, this is exciting. Look at this. Now then, let's wait for Nicky Hayden to cross the line and see what kind of lap time he can do on his setup.
Christopher Millen. Looks like a cut tire. Looks like a little bit. I couldn't quite see.
So difficult. I'm still waiting for Hayden to cross the line. Where is he?
Well, Elias has just been across doing a 205.
Hayden must have gone off.
Hayden must have gone off. He's dropping down the list. 16th.
There's Nicky at 201.3, his personal best of the race. The best lap of the race, Sylvain Gintoli, 156.9.
3 seconds quicker than anybody else is Sylvain Gintoli. Now let's just recap. I've got Ginters on a cut front and a cut rear, and it's 3 seconds quicker than the guys leading the race. I reckon you lose about 23 seconds coming in.
Let's call it 20 for round numbers.
So you need to let it shake out over 5-6 laps.
So we are still in transition here. These blokes have not been in, don't forget. The men at the front of the field. The first man who's been in is going to be Tony Elias in 12th place.
We're on board with Casey Stoner. He's in 2nd position at the moment. If the flag came out now with him ahead of Valentino Rossi, he is the world champion of MotoGP 2007. Looking at the dash, looking at his pit board. Look at him, the whites of his eyes. Fantastic shot. I reckon Rossi closed, and he did.
Rossi and Melandri did their personal best laps of the race last time round. What's happening there, Randy? Those tyres aren't giving them problems.
Well,
yeah, look at Stoner snaking.
Bike obviously moving around as you saw Casey get on the gas. I'd like to be following Valentino. Marco's been very, very smooth with his bike. Let's see the exit of this corner.
Double thickness knee slider, of course. They don't have to crank it over so much.
Look at Casey. Look at Casey getting into just a spinning. Rossi drifting it out a little wide. That Yamaha works very, very well with Rossi's traction control, and that's his right wrist.
Obviously so, and Pedrosa has done his personal best of the race. So a lot of guys who haven't changed bikes, who are therefore still on wet tyres, are setting personal bests. As Hopper comes in.
Slick.
Hopper, we haven't mentioned him all weekend. That looks like a slick front and a slick rear.
Correct.
Certainly is. John Hopkins, slick underneath his
Gintoli 155.5.
Slaughtering the lap time is Sylvain Gintoli. He's in 12th position and he's right on the tailpipes of Tony Elias. No, he's not.
Where's Vermeulen?
Chris Vermeulen is in 14th position, but he hasn't done a full flying lap.
Well, he went out with Barros, and I just saw Barros go by.
No, he's ahead of Barros.
He went out together, changing bikes, rode out of the pit lane together. Barros just went by. No sign of Vermeulen.
Well, Vermeulen was in front of him.
Yeah, he was in front of him.
Side by side, going out the pit lane. So, I mean, Vermeulen must have blitzed him because he was
2 seconds plus.
Underneath the oval we come with the leader, the second place man, and look at Rossi. He's in the same shot now, even a tight shot on the second place man, Casey Stoner. Whew, dear oh dear, if Rossi's ahead of Stoner, we wait another Grand Prix to see who is going to be the world champion.
Okay. Carlos Checa's coming in once more. Carlos Checa's coming in once more. Checking something to do with the front. Still has that, I don't know what they did. They made some sort of adjustment to the front. Obviously, he's way out of it.
Okay, so Carlos Checa out of the top running is in 19th position. As we hone in on this battle for second, it's not going to be long for you, Casey, before you see that blue and white Fiat Yamaha all over the back of you.
Casey just picked up the pace. You could see him roll the throttle on just a little bit sooner as he exited that section. Look at those eyes, as you said, Toby.
Loris Capirossi on a Ducati, 55.7. Stoner on wet, 59.7. 4 seconds a lap quicker is Loris Capirossi. Oh, the Ducati boys will be worrying now. 4 seconds. Now Capirossi is 38 seconds behind the lead.
So 13 laps to go.
And the wet tyres that are busy wearing out and overheating under Stoner, under Melandri, under Rossi are not going to get any better. Mind you, Valentino Rossi doesn't appear to be having any problems, does he? Look at the way that gap has come down in this lap.
He's going to have problems if he gets to tangle with somebody with slicks, if they can catch up, believe me. He's just doing the better job out there with the Michelin tires in the rain situation.
Just to recap, if Capirossi is going 4 seconds a lap quicker than Stoner, it takes 23 seconds to stop and change. You need 6 laps to make up.
Gintoli, 154.2, new fastest lap.
Wow, you saw that acceleration.
Got him! Got him! It's Valentino Rossi, and he doesn't quite touch Casey Stoner down the bottom of the hill. That was a close manoeuvre. And he's up to second.
And you saw Stoner spinning on the exit.
And you saw him kind of cock his head like, okay.
Yeah. Now behind Stoner, it's 4 seconds to Danny Pedrosa. Oh, Yamaha flag. Crowd shot, Julian.
It's just 1 square section of the grandstand going berserk. Fantastic. And Rossi's passed and he's gapping him. Don't forget, these blokes are all on wet tyres that have suffered over how many laps to go, Toby? Half the race now.
Is Danny catching up to Casey now?
Danny 158.7, Casey 2 flat.
Yeah.
He's 5 seconds behind, 2 laps, and Danny will be on him.
Look at this, Randy.
Here we go. Watch this. Casey thinks he's got it. I don't think so. Now watch, see if they can pick that up. Doesn't quite show it.
Oh, there's Valentino Rossi's number 2 machine. And there goes a Suzuki out under the top of the shot. Now, will Valentino Rossi be coming in?
That was Westy and Akiyoshi coming in and out that time round.
You need to keep an eye on the guys that are coming behind. Who's the first one on the slick stove?
Loris, and he's in 6th.
And he's just on 153.6.
53!
And how? Yeah, Toby, it's dry.
All right.
The miracle to me is not the time that those are doing, but what Melandri, Rossi and Stoner are doing on what must be completely wasted wet weather tyres.
Write it down. Right now, the split between Loris and the leaders, and then the next lap subtract that, obviously.
Okay, 32.7 seconds, Toby, to obey Mr. Mamola.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll write it in my exercise book.
In best, as I used to say.
Just write it down, because I want to know that difference every lap.
No problem. No, I know exactly what you mean. That was after lap 12. Capirossi, 32 seconds behind the leader of this Grand Prix, Marco Melandri.
32.7. Now let's see if any of the front boys are going to come in this time round.
You know, Valentino is risking, obviously, if something comes wrong by pushing it so hard to get up there. Now, his tire would be definitely warmer than any of them out there, mainly because he's pushed it to get to that point. Now, obviously, he's in between a Bridgestone sandwich right there.
And Rossi does his personal best of the race, 58.0. Big line round his tyre when we saw it from the camera from behind there. Casey stays out, Pedrosa behind him does his personal best lap of the race as well.
Talk about hair and the tortoise going on here.
I'll tell you what, the Michelin wets, when it dries out, are holding up absolutely superbly.
Here he comes.
Loris Capirossi, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:53.1. He's in 6th position. The gap now to the leader, to Loris Capirossi in 6th, it was 32, it's now 26 seconds in 1 lap.
Yeah, he'll be there soon.
He's going to win it. Capirossi can win this.
Look at this, look at this.
Oh, Rossi leads the Grand Prix for a moment between the S's into the V corner. Now he's going to have a stab all over the back of his mate, Marco Melandri. Honda on Bridgestones, Yamaha on Michelin's, and Yamaha about to lead the Grand Prix in a moment. Oh, he almost touches. He's almost in the gravel. He has to go offline. A little bit too much too early there for Valentino.
Oh, I am gobsmacked, for want of a better word, as Pedrosa goes past Stoner. Danny up and past Stoner. The Michelin wets are holding up better to the dry track than the Bridgestone wets.
Do you think a Marlboro Ducati will pass a Marlboro Ducati?
Yes. Especially a rider who has
How shall I put this?
Leaving.
Who is disenchanted with his current employers.
He's going to be a Smurf.
Here we go again.
And he's got him. He's got him up on the inside. Marco Melandri's got no reply, and he's coming into pit lane. He's seen Valentino Rossi's tyres, and he's decided... Where's he gone?
Slicks.
So then, Marco Melandri, the leader of the Grand Prix, is coming into the pits to change bikes and go onto slick tyres.
If your mathematics are correct, he will go out alongside Loris Capirossi.
Stoner's coming in.
Stoner coming in behind Marco Melandri.
Followed his fellow Bridgestone man.
He's followed, yeah, right. Marco straight on, pushing him out. Every single team member urging him on. Slick tyres underneath the Ducati.
The question now is, what is Loris Capirossi doing on dries? What can Rossi keep doing on wets?
Well,
when will he be forced into the pit?
He's going to come in now because he just looked over his shoulder and saw that there's no Marco Melandri. He's going to know that he pulled in. The thing is, he will not know that Casey's pulled in.
He certainly won't now. The gap from the leader to Loris Capirossi, the gap is followed. 32, 26, 19 seconds.
7 seconds in 1 lap.
And there's 10 laps to go. Capirossi is in the pound seat.
Capra's going to win this race, guaranteed, because these guys have to stop. Valentino, the big decision is he stops now, and if Casey Stoner's lap goes out quick. Now, if Casey Stoner's lap goes out quick and Valentino takes another whole lap to go around, Casey's going to beat him in this race.
Fastest lap of the Grand Prix is Ginter's on a 1:52.6, quicker than even Loris.
My question is he on intermediates effectively, and will they overheat before the end of the race?
Yes, they are cut front and rears underneath Sylvain Gintoli.
Well, by regulations, it's either slick, intermediate or wet, and an intermediate must have a certain amount of tread on it. There you go, Rossi's got an inter in the front anyway.
Well, it's got to decide whether he comes in now. He looked over his shoulder and saw Danny way back there. He's got to know.
He's got to.
I bet you he doesn't come in.
He is. He's coming in. Valentino Rossi, 2 leaders coming into the pits in 2 laps here on this Japanese Grand Prix. We're only just gone beyond the halfway point. You've got to be on slicks to have a shout of winning this race.
And he had a 23-second advantage on Casey Stoner.
Danny's down
on the floor.
Danny's down from 2nd position, and he was on wets. So it's a no-brainer. You've got to come in. I hope he's okay. Rossi on 1, Rossi on another. No tugging on the foot peg now, is there? And no standing on the pegs, arranging himself.
Where's Stoner? Where is he? Can you see him?
I'm waiting for Casey Stoner to come across the line.
Rossi out of the pits.
Right.
Danny Crash in the last corner, guys.
Capirossi leads the Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. He leads the Grand Prix.
Stoner goes past me.
In 8th position, but Capirossi leads it. We're looking at the wrong bloke. That's 9th. That's 8th, sorry. Casey. Leader is Loris Capirossi, and I reckon he's 5 seconds ahead of Edwards.
But for the championship, we have to wait to see where it shakes out with Stoner's position relative to Rossi's position. This is Danny.
Straight.
Oh, blimey.
That's the last corner.
So he didn't come in. He took the risk.
He was the last of the quick men out there, still on worn, wet tyres.
The president of HRC, Mr. Hamani, yes, licking his lips, pursing his lips. There's your leader. That is Loris Capirossi, and by my quick arithmetic, he's 8 seconds ahead of Colin Edwards. He is 13 seconds ahead of the next. No, he's not. He's 13 seconds ahead of the next slick runner, who is Depunier, 3rd-ish.
Oh, and there's Rossi, cold slick, sir. Right, let's get Rossi. And is that Gintoli charging up past Depunier?
Right, leading is Capi from Edwards. 3rd is Randy Depunier. 4th is Elias. 5th is Valentino Rossi. And 6th is Sylvain Gintoli.
On screen, they got Rossi at 2nd up there on the big tower. P2 for Colin Edwards. It said in, but now they've taken that off.
Rossi gets a touch of the Ginters there, runs on a bit wide at the right-hander, of course, first flying lap on the new tyres.
Colin Edwards got slicks waiting for him.
Look at this, Randy.
Now there is Sylvain Gintoli going up to 5th position. And Rossi's coming in again!
Something has not gone right.
No ship-to-shore radio. He can't communicate what the problem is to his team. And we're looking at the wrong picture.
He waggled the bike like it was fuel.
No, it's something to do with the front end. Something to do with the front end and the brakes.
So
send him out.
Can't see anything. Go out there, try again. Okay. That could be the championship decided. That run up and down pit lane
is the championship decider.
Yep. Loris Capirossi leads this Grand Prix from Randy Depunier by 14 seconds. Elias right on the tail of Randy Depunier, a smidge behind him. 4th is Ginters. 4th is Sylvain Gintoli.
Randy, if you can find a Dunlop or a Tech 3 man, I want to know, if you can, whether Gintoli's tyres are going to last on a totally dry track.
He's got slicks.
No, he hasn't. He's got cuts.
Not what you told us earlier.
You told us
it all down.
Okay.
I wrote it all down, mate. Whew. Cappy on for the hat-trick. Could you believe it?
And a large up yours to all and sundry as Vermeulen goes past Valentino Rossi. I saw Rossi waggle the handlebars as he come in. Have his brake pads pushed back or something?
No, they were playing with the brake lines and everything when he pulled in. Now I'm with Hervé Ponceral, obviously team principal for Tech 3. Fantastic race. What about those cut slicks? Will they make it?
Well, it is, it is the race start, our race choices with a bit of cuts, and for sure we think they can last until the end. So if we can keep that speed and finish in the top 5, it will be an incredible result.
It's great to have a tire war out there, isn't it?
Very great, especially after the tough weekend we have had so far. So anyway, the race is not over yet, but you can imagine we're really hoping for a good result here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Next question, Randy, to the Fiat Yamaha pit. What the hell's the problem?
Maybe they managed to hear. I wonder if Valentino thought he was on a slick, but it's actually a cut slick.
No. There was something wrong with the bike. He was shaking the head of the bike.
Oh, he's in the gravel.
It must be brakes. It must be a brake problem. We saw him run straight on when Gintoli went past him. He's got a brake problem on his number 2 bike, on his wet bike. Dry bike, I mean. Other bike.
One of them, Julian.
One he's on.
The number 46 bike, I'd say, if I were you. As he comes out of the final
There's more than one of them.
As he comes out of the final corner, now Valentino Rossi crosses the line in 15th position. The championship has gone with the brake lever coming back to the bar.
Casey Stoner is running around happily in 5th place at the moment. And if... Here we go again. This is Rossi's latest escapade. Same place, end of the back straight. He cannot stop the bike.
He's trying to stop the bike with the rear. That's why it was trying to jump out of the line. But you can't stop a bike with just the rear brake. The front is in trouble. We're on board board with Casey Stoner. This lap 19 of 24 here, this Japanese MotoGP. We started in damp conditions, it dried out. And by the rules of MotoGP, you're allowed to change motorcycles as long as the tyres underneath you are different. Therefore, the field has changed from wet tyres to a new bike with dry tyres. And the man who gambled the most, but had the most to win, is now Loris Capirossi. He leads this Grand Prix by 14 seconds ahead of that guy there, Randy de Bunier, who is on course for his first ever MotoGP podium, second position. Third is Tony Elias, and fourth is Sylvain Guintoli.
What irony, the top 3 men at the moment all leaving their teams at the end of the year.
Hell's bells, yes, haven't thought that one. Come on, Ginter,
make it fourth if Guintoli is going to Dantine. Of course, Randy de Bunier, fastest lap of the race, 51 flat.
Sylvain taking a second out of Tony Elias in one lap with 5 to go.
Permission to become a complete fan?
No, I am. You're late.
Sorry. Go on, Sylvain, rostrum boy.
I hope you're up early in Barlston. Come on, Caroline. I'm sure you can shout loud enough.
Put the bottle down. It's too early.
Oh, your folks will be off. They'll be on the ceiling by now, shrieking. Oh dear.
That's a reference to Madame Guintoli, the very English Caroline.
Yes, Derek and Sandra. Well, the parents-in-law cheering on Sylvain and his folks as well in France. But it's Italy that's cheering on Loris Capirossi. His wife's here this weekend, Ingrid, and she's just, I think she's chewed her nails down.
They can turn the lights off in there with her smile right now. It's that bright.
There's Tony Elias, third place at the moment, but last time round, Sylvain Guintoli took a second out of him. Come on. I can imagine what's going through Sylvain's mind.
There he is. That's second, third and fourth, ladies and gentlemen.
Dunlop shod Yamaha, potentially in a rostrum position. Sylvain, what have you done? It's under a second. It's 3/4 of a second now. I'm almost as excited about this as Ducati's first ever World Championship coming up.
14 plus 14 is what Loris is going to see over de Bunier.
Well, this is like Loris for the past 2 years in totally dry races, just rampaging away from pole position. He's done it in mixed conditions as well, having endured a miserable year with the new 800 Ducati.
4 laps remaining here at Motegi. The pit board being held out for the fourth position man, the Frenchman Sylvain Guintoli, but he lives in the UK. He's an honorary Brit. What's the gap? Oh, a bit more.
Fastest lap of the race to Sylvain, 150.7.
So, 0.75 of a second, the gap between Guintoli and Elias. This is the man in 5th position. Let us not lose sight of the fact that he is en route. No, he's not. He's lost a position to 6th because Melandri's got past him.
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
Akiyoshi will get past him, but it doesn't matter because Valentino Rossi is about a third of a lap behind. If Stoner finishes ahead of Valentino Rossi, the championship goes to Australia and to Bologna with Ducati.
I'll tell you what, let's give a shout for Akiyoshi, the Suzuki test rider. What a cracking weekend's work he's put in.
Check out the guys going in front of you guys right now. The 2 Suzukis battling, John Hopkins, Christopher Millen.
And that is for 11th and 12th places. There's Valentino. Where is he? He's not in the point. Yes, he is 15th. 1 point. That's Shinichi Ito behind him, the replacement rider on the Dantine bike. How close is Guintoli? 1/10 behind Elias now.
Chaz Davis was going to ride that Dantine Ducati that Shinichi Ito has taken, but Chaz not very well at all after having some complications with a tetanus jab before he went to Laguna Seca AMA race last weekend, and he was worn out. So maybe we hope to see Chaz Davis on a Dantine Ducati for the remaining 3 races of the season. Let's keep our fingers crossed. They're second, third and fourth is closing in again on 3rd position man, Tony Elias.
Dunlop's heading for the rostrum. We could have a Dunlop on the rostrum for the first time since the days of Simon Crafar and the Red Bull Yamaha.
Or did we have Mr. Akira Rio on a Dunlop on the podium in Suzuka?
I beg your pardon, we did as a wild card in the first ever Moto Grand Prix race.
In 2002. I've outspotted Julian Ryder. Can you believe it?
I've just written a book about that as well.
Proves I read it, Julian.
Thank you very much.
That's quite all right. Buy another one.
Sylvain.
2.5 laps remaining here, this Japanese MotoGP. That is the battle for third position, the final podium position here in Japan. It's Tony Elias, but it's Sylvain Guintoli on the yellow
Does
Yamaha.
the phrase rostrum or straw bales mean anything to you?
No, he's got to be rostrum. He's led the Grand Prix at Le Mans, but he chucked it. He's got to get to the finish. Being serious now, he's got to get to the finish.
Having a hard time getting out of the corners. He's spinning up on those slow corners. Let's see if he can get by Tony through this fast section. Up on the brakes, here we go.
Oh, up on the inside into the bottom S, and flying into the corner goes Sylvain. Does he go wide? He does, and he loses half a dozen bike lengths. Now that he knows that doesn't work, he's got another bite at the cherry.
Tony Elias really likes this track. He's won races here. He won his first 250 race here. Not every rider will tell you he likes this place. Tony is one that will. Oh, Akiyoshi's retired. That's no reward for his weekend.
Tony Elias has won 2 250cc races here. And this could be touch and go. Ooh, he's that close as Tony looks over his shoulder, leaving the Honda Gresini. Well, no, I won't say that. Who knows where Tony Elias is going to be?
Elias is only 2.5 seconds behind De Pugny.
Yeah, what a lap times.
But De Pugny's put in his personal best, 50.8. And Elias has gone a little bit slower last time. I'll get him across the line and I'll tell you again. Caparossi's across with a 51.4. That's the leader. He has gone from hours before De Pugny arrives with 50.8 on the clock. 51.1 for both Elias and Guintoli. It's Elias's best lap of the race. He knows he's got pressure.
Elias just 0.3, Randy, ahead of Sylvain.
See the drive that Tony just got on him coming out of that turn 2. Tony taking a look over. Let's get a good rear shot of that. Here's Stoner crossing the line.
6th position. Poor. Will he be nervous, Randy, or what?
He's just bringing it home, baby.
It's enough to be world champion.
He's going right now. Did that cough? Did it run out of gas after the warm-up lap, or I mean after the race lap in Misano? Did it do all these things? Come on, baby, let's just go home.
He's just at his best lap of the race as Stoner. He's after Melandri.
He's closing in on Marco Melandri as father Colin, wife Adriana, chief engineer Christian Gabarini look on, and she can't resist. She has a smile. Casey's wife down there. Casey in 6th position, and Valentino Rossi, I remind you, in 13th. The championship just a lap and a half away for Casey Stoner,
who is keeping his concentration up by racing Marco Melandri, trying not to think about it. Concentrate on the man in front of you. And he's got Anthony West coming up behind him as well. No, West is a long way behind him on track. Now then, what's happening with Guintoli? He's 2/10 behind Elias at the 2nd checkpoint, half a second behind at the 3rd checkpoint. Has Tony got the jump on him? Is that cut slick just overheating a bit?
That is Valentino Rossi, 13th. Edwards, 14th. Shinichi Ito, old as the hills, in 15th. The Bridgestone test rider standing in on the Dantine Ducati. But here is the Works Ducati. It's Loris Capirossi. Victor here in 05 from pole. Victor here in 06 from pole. Started this Grand Prix from 8th position.
2nd place man, Randy De Pugny. Elias sits the best lap of the race. No wonder he'd gapped Guintoli. Sylvain might have to be content with 4th place. Heroic in any case from Sylvain Guintoli.
Elias looks over his shoulder. He sees that Sylvain's a little bit further back. It's about 0.7 of a second as we're on board with Casey Stoner about to cross the line. Oh, I think his mum's in tears already. Just 2.8 miles between Casey Stoner and the World Championship. Already his teammate Loris Capirossi is into the 2nd half of the lap here in Japan.
Oh, what a weekend for the Red Bullets from Bologna. They're going to win the race for the 3rd year running, and the Ducati factory, the most iconic of two-wheeled brands, is going to take its first ever world title at Grand Prix level.
The Suzuki battle just switched. John Hopkins got Christopher Millen, and he's about 2 seconds ahead.
Casey Stoner going through the right-hander, leaning into the corner underneath the bridge. That's the halfway point of this circuit, the lowest point of this circuit. Casey Stoner came into the MotoGP Championship last year with the Honda, and he was just struggling with that front end. Then he worked his way through into the Ducati squad alongside Loris Capirossi, and this is what all the time and all the work they have done. It's culminating with a Ducati victory victory for Loris Capirossi. My goodness me, he was so close, remember, to the world title last year, and he's going to win it. He can't believe it. Loris Capirossi, a hat-trick of victories here at Motegi. What a win for Loris. What a gamble at work.
Applause from the Stoner family as well as the rest of the
Ponier on the podium.
Rostrom, Kawasaki on the podium. Brilliant ride from Randy Ponier. Here's third. It's Elias, just from Sylvain Gintoli. Gintoli, his personal best lap last time round.
But here is the world champion for 2007, ladies and gentlemen. He's 21 years old. The first ever Ducati Grand Prix title. The first time Europe has won a Grand Prix title since 73. Stoner is the champion.
And there's men in that pit who've worked all their lives in Bologna who never thought they'd see this at Grand Prix level. And in his first year on Ducati, his first year on Bridgestone tyres, his first year as a works rider, the young Australian, he becomes the second youngest ever world champion. Only Freddie Spencer was younger.
And he's a year younger than when Valentino Rossi won the title. You have to remember the people who are not here to see the championship being won here today. Yamaha beaten for the second year in a row.
Valentino Rossi crosses the line in 13th place, just behind Makoto Tamada. Here he is, here's the champion, the second youngest ever world champion. One bit of stress that he's got on his shoulders. He doesn't have to go home to Australia to win the title. He can walk down the aircraft steps with the #1 plate and treat it as a celebration. And I think I'm going to get the bookies to get... they've invaded the podium.
Brilliant, brilliant. I don't know if they were invited. I don't care.
I suspect not.
Number one!
How do they get up there? Never mind.
I've never seen that before. That's another Italian first.
It's Christian Gabarini on the left-hand side. Very shy, very quiet, very reserved. He's the one just taking a swig of pop at the moment. He came into the Ducati squad this year. He was actually penciled in to work for Dantine Ducati this year, but then when it came apparent that the rider was going to be Casey Stoner, apparently